You're watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for joining us on what I think is a special edition of Inside Automotive right here at CBT News. For decades, the New Jersey Coalition of Automotive Retailers, also known as NJCAR, was led by Jim Appleton. Now, after almost 30 years, Jim is stepping down and the new president, Laura Perrotta, is at the helm. So today, both Jim and Laura join us to discuss the evolution of NJCAR and their vision for dealers in the state of New Jersey, and then what Jim's going to be doing in his retirement, probably playing pickleball every single day. Right, Jim?
Never.
never pickleball.
Tennis, not pickleball.
That's right. Well, congratulations to both of you in this big news. And Jim, I know I can speak for all of the people in New Jersey, all the dealers in New Jersey, that we wish you the best and congratulations. But we're sorry to see you go. And of course, all the dealers around the country that have listened to you help lead the industry over the last 30 years and major issues that your dealers there have been facing. A lot of dealers around the country have, kind of sat aside and said, okay, how are they going to play this and how's it going to help us in our states? So thank you for all of that. And of course, Laura, as I said earlier before we got recording, you got big shoes to fill, right?
Absolutely. Very big shoes, but very excited to get the opportunity to do so.
Sure.
Laura's more than up to the challenge, believe me.
Oh, I'm sure. So, Jim, you served, as I mentioned, since 1997. And this is a very loaded question, maybe just hit the high points, but how has the auto industry in New Jersey evolved since that period of time?
Yeah, well, so in the 90s, it was the internet revolution and what that was going to mean and how that was going to did completely transform the way the auto retail business worked. And then in the thousands, it was the economic meltdown and the bankruptcies. Then in the 2010s, we went to the direct sale war, direct sales and the Tesla wars. And then in the 20s, of course, we were dealing with COVID and the shutdowns, supply chain issues. All I can say is it's never been a dull moment. There was always some existential threat, either real or perceived, on the horizon that we thought was going to put an end to auto retailing and the franchise dealers as we know them. And sure enough, that was overblown. Dealers are just so incredibly resilient, and the business model is just so incredibly effective for everybody, consumers, manufacturers, and dealers, that this operation just keeps chugging along.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything that stands out as your proudest moments over the last 30 years?
Well, look, I think it's there are a number of moments when we felt as though the franchise model was under serious attack.
Yeah.
And the ability to articulate the value of that franchise model, whether it was before the FTC or Congress or at our state house, the ability to push back in the media against people who believe that the direct sale model was somehow superior and more consumer friendly than the competitive franchise model. I'd have to point to, there's a half dozen examples where we in New Jersey and myself were called on to really, sort of carry that message forward. And I think we've done a pretty effective job of it, to the point where I think the direct sale threat, it's not gone, but I think it's certainly minimized.
Right. What is your take on this latest news of Scout wanting to sell their products directly to consumers?
Yeah, well, look, we're taking it very seriously. I feel a little bad. I'm leaving Laura with a lot of heavy lifting to do, and that's certainly one of the more challenging problems. As you are aware, probably in New Jersey, Tesla is permitted to sell from 4 dealership locations, licensed dealership locations. They're selling from 6. 2 of which are so-called gallery locations, which is, of course, exactly the path that Scout is talking about following. So we think, we're going to have to deal with this problem. Laura, you're going to have to deal with this problem in the next few months. But we're more than ready to take that one on.
That's great. Laura Perrotta, tell us a little bit about yourself for those people that are watching that are not as familiar with your name as we are here at the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and just honored to be here with you today. So my background, I've been in Washington, D.C. since the early 2000s. I went to work on Capitol Hill. I've been focused on transportation since 2008 and in the dealer world since 2014. I was at one point one of the lobbyists in the legislative office at NADA and got to focus on auto and truck issues, which, I've always been something I've been passionate about. And then started on this career path of running associations. I started with the American Highway Users Alliance back in 2019, and then I went over to run the American Truck Dealers, which is a division of NADA, a few years ago, representing the medium and heavy duty truck dealers. So the big Kenworth, Mack, Volvo truck dealers, and just have such a passion for dealers and everything they do, and the importance of the dealers to our economy, to the state economy. And just when this opportunity came up, how could you possibly pass it up? It's extremely exciting. For
sure. Wow, your resume sounds like you've been training for this position. That is fantastic. I mean, you are perfectly designed and ready for this from day one.
I think so. I think so. I know Jim is legacy. No, seriously, Jim deserves every piece of thanks and spotlight he's getting, even though I know he doesn't love that. But he is quite the shoes to fill. So respected. So many doors I need to open in the state of New Jersey. But he's going to be working with me for the next couple of years. So I'm very blessed to be able to tap into him and have him help me open these doors in the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, that's certainly worth noting. Jim, you plan to stay on as in a consultative role, right, with Laura?
That's right. I'm, the transitional advisor to the president, I guess, is my title. I'm here at my home office, ready, just waiting for the phone to ring. Whatever Laura needs, I'll jump in. No, seriously, and I'm just going to push back a little bit on Laura and on you, Jim. I get a lot of credit, but NJ Carr is an incredible organization with an incredible team on nearly 100 employees. And so Laura is stepping in to an organization that's really ready, locked and loaded to support her. She has just an incredible skill set, from her knowledge of the automotive industry to her organizational talent, and certainly her lobbying and government affairs expertise. We're going to have to teach her not to get out of her car and pump gas in New Jersey, because we don't do
I still do that.
And I'm gonna have to remind her she doesn't have to wave with all fingers in traffic. In New Jersey, we don't always wave with.
No, you don't.
But other than that, she's ready. She's ready to roll, and I'm very pleased, very proud that we were able to attract somebody of Laura's capability.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, that's great. And you've got the hotline to NADA with your former colleagues there. That's pretty cool.
Yes. It's, Mike Stanton was very supportive of me making this transition.
Yeah.
I have that lucky background that I knew all the state automotive trade association executives. I've worked with them over the years. I definitely am lucky that I have this to be able to leverage in this new role.
Yeah. Mike was supported after he called me to give me a hard time.
That's right. You owe him one now, right? That's funny. What do you what's on your to-do list, or some of your top priorities, Laura, as you take over?
I just wanted to mention to you, Jim, before I forget, that just echoing what Jim Appleton just said, just what an amazing team there is here. Yeah. I just have to say that. I have been nothing but astounded at the knowledge, the years of experience here. It's just been mind-boggling.
I bet.
Just the powerhouse that NJ Carr really is. And I always thought they were, but getting here and digging in. It's only day 3 for me. I've been blown away. So I just had to mention that, and just really appreciative of everyone's support. But what we have on our plate, oh my Lord, we have a lot of challenges, as you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot coming at the dealers in New Jersey. Number one, we've been working on, for the last year, Jim's been working on a recall bill, trying to make sure that our dealers are paid fairly for recall work and for labor time, following suit with many of the other states who have, passed and enacted legislation recently. So that's going to be, number one priority. We're working furiously on that and trying to get it done. We have the de facto EV mandate, which the entire nation is facing, between advanced clean trucks coming into effect in 2025 for the big trucks. And then we have ACC2 coming on the heels of that in 2026 in New Jersey. It's just, a lot. And the thing is, as we all know, we can't mandate folks to buy certain vehicles. We need to have consumer choice. Yeah. We need to have affordable vehicles. We need to have charging. So all these things are just, conflating to create the perfect storm, and they're about to rock our world. That's the reality that our dealers are facing right now.
Will the new administration in DC, do you look at that as an automotive friendly administration? Will this help or hurt your efforts?
I think for most of the country, it's going to be helpful. I think that, they will hopefully be more realistic about the timing of electric vehicle, goals and achievements and where we're going. But of course, we could see, as we all know, a backpedaling on the incentives and the infrastructure investments could be coming very soon. And in the CARB states, we still have challenges. There's no guarantee that they can repeal the CARB waivers. Yeah. And so, it's very much still a reality, even with the new administration, that New Jersey has major challenges ahead.
Right, right. Laura, as you know, the association, were you going to add something, Jim?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I would even add that, in the CARB states like New Jersey, eliminating the EPA's de facto mandate is only going to drive our blue state governors and regulators further into the arms of the California Air Resources Board. It is going to make that tougher for us to withdraw and to distance ourselves from. And so, while certainly doing away with the EPA ban and some of the other regulatory reforms that this new administration is planning will be beneficial, in New Jersey, they'll have kind of the opposite effect, going to make our life a lot tougher to try to distance ourselves from the California Air Resources Board, which is something we absolutely need to do. The consumers and the infrastructure are just not ready for this transition yet.
Right, right. Yeah, it's going to be something to really watch and navigate for you all to try to navigate through all of that. That's going to be challenging for sure. Laura, the association is really only as good as the members that make it up, right? The auto dealers, you guys are fighting the good fight every day for dealers. However, you really need the support and the help of dealers out there. What message do you have for the members of NJCAR as you begin your tenure?
That's a great question. I think there's nothing better than member engagement and member advocacy. Those are the folks that can pick up the cell phone and call their member of Congress or their state legislator directly. They're the folks that make the magic happen when you're trying to get things done. My door is wide open. I can't wait to engage with all of them. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to meet with folks. I'm going to have every opportunity possible that they can participate. And I just love getting to know the members and finding out who we're fighting for and meeting their employees and tapping down into every aspect of the dealership on how NJCAR can help them become better dealers and thrive even more. I just think there's so much opportunity when we work together, and I can't wait to get out there and get to know everyone better.
Sure. And now for the $64,000 question: what will Jim be doing in his retirement? What you're going to be?
Whatever Laura asked me to do.
That doesn't sound like retirement to me.
Yeah, well, look, like I said, I haven't made any hard or fast plans, other than to be there to help with this transition. There are some opportunities out there for me to do entrepreneurial or consultative things that, again, if they don't conflict or interfere with my role at NJ Carr, my part-time role at NJ Carr, I might explore a little more. And then, of course, my wife has plans, for me to spend
Right.
more time with her and spend more time domestically. She may change her mind after a
I was
couple
going to
weeks.
say that might last a month, and then she's like, "Don't you need to go get another gig somewhere?"
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. I understand that because of the appointments made by the Trump administration, there's a few openings at Fox News that maybe you could, sit on. Sit on that. Anyway, that's another show. But Jim Appleton, former president of the NJ, or I should say New Jersey Coalition of Automobile Retailers, also known as NJ Carr, and Laura Perrotta, the new president of NJ Carr. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. Best of luck to you, Jim, in your new role there in the pickleball court. And and Laura, anything we can do to help here at CBT News with the transition and moving forward and getting the word out to the dealers, just give us a call. We're here. And congratulations.
Thank you so much for having us today. It was a real pleasure. And my door is wide open if you ever need us for anything.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.